Hey folks. Well, I got the flannel on. I'm sure you can tell that means the weather's cooling off. We're out here in the garage today. I'm just doing a little puttering, and thought it'd be a good time to, being Saturday, to jump out with a Saturday Stockman Stampede, courtesy of Terry over at Terry's Knives and Man Stuff. If you haven't been checking out Terry's lives, he does. I think he's doing one maybe tonight. It's a good time. He gets up there and he rambles on, he shows some knives, and we all sit in the chat and carry on and have a good time. So check that out. But for today, we are going to look at this one right here. And if you caught my Thankful Thursday, you will recognize this as the knife that Jason with Ozark Boys sent to me in that big box of knives. There's Charlie on guard. With that big box of knives that Mike from Make Cutlery Great Again, and Travis the Case Guy, and Dakota down at Marlowe Designs, and Jason, they all get together and sent me a pretty awesome package. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. Charlie, it's okay. You don't get yelled at everybody. She's going to do dog stuff. Anyhow, we'll spin the camera around and have a look-see and get a closer peek. Okay, so Jason sent the knife in a leather case slip, which I thought was very fitting. And here we have it. So it is a case 6375, 6 for the bone covers, 3 for the number of blades, and 75 for the pattern. So it's a Stockman. And I want to say amber bone. Looks like a peach seed amber bone jig. Very nice on both sides. And kind of neat, as I don't know if he was aware, but I have 3 case knives now. This one, the 1971 Barlow that I did a little restoration on. And then this was my first case knife. And it's a case sawbuster, which, if I remember right, is peach seed jigged amber bone. So a little different looking on this side, but if we switch to the pile side, it looks pretty similar to me. So I want to guess they're both an amber bone. Anyways, they match up pretty good. So you have your main blade is your clip point with just the slightest bit of a swedge on both sides. You have your nail nick, and then here you have your case tank stamp, and that is the, I believe, 2000 to 2009 way they wrote case. And then you have the 1X, and for that year, if I remember right, they had 5 dots and 5 X's interspersed. So that should make this one a 2009. Nice little snap to the open. Nothing on that side. No half stop. And a real sweet snap to the close. And then you've got your sheep's foot. And here you can see your USA 6375 and CV. So this one is in chrome vanadium, not stainless. So it will patina. And I hope Jason doesn't mind. There was a patina on it, but I just gave it a little polish to balance all that out, so I get to put my own little patina on it. And nothing on that side. Another nice snap. Slightest little bit of a cant to it, which is nice, particularly if you're doing any draw cuts. And a real nice snap to the close. And then next to that, and we'll try and do this right so we don't cause any blade rub. You've got your spade blade with your CV for chrome vanadium. Again, real nice snap. And if you look, surprisingly, there is no great amount of blade rub on any of these blades that I can see. believe there might have been a touch maybe somewhere on the sheep's foot, but I don't even see that now. And, okay, maybe it was just that one little spot right there. So that's pretty darn good to have no real amount of blade rub. So if we open everything up, there we have it. That is just a sweet knife and a well-built knife. That no gapping at all in the back. I suppose it'll show better if I close it up. No gapping on those springs that I can see anywhere. No stepping. Your pins are all nice and flush, which is, again, a feat in itself for a jig bone handle. Shield is inlaid nice. Just a well-made knife. It's got weight to it. I like that. I like a knife. I like the feel of the knife in my hand. I don't like a light knife. I understand the value in a light knife, particularly if you're doing a lot of repetitive tasks, your hands aren't going to tire as much, but I like to feel the weight of the knife in my hand. I like to know, the knife is in my hand. I'm not going to forget it's there. The overall length is right about 4 1/3 inches. You've got a nice about 3 1/4 inches on your main blade, with about 2 2/3 for your cutting surface. About 2 1/3 overall length for your sheep's foot, and about 1 3/4 inches for your cutting surface. Spade blade, about 1 1/4 inches, and about, 2 1/4 inches and about 1 inch and a little better than 3/4 for your spade blade. And those are nice beefy blades too. I mean, that's a nice beefy thick sheep's foot and a nice beefy thick spade blade. So just a very, very sweet, very well made knife. That's going to be a regular pocket carry for me. So thank you very much for that, Jason. I highly, highly, greatly appreciate that. It was a heck of a gift, and I'll get you back someday. I'll get you back. I know it's not all about that, but it's fun to tease. So anyways, folks, that's it for the Saturday Stockman Stampede. One little thing I want to sneak out there, you may have noticed this knife sitting up there. This is the Bear & Sons that JC's Mountain de Jar sent to me a while ago. And, I've looked at this knife, I've carried this knife. And I know JC likes the knife mods. So I thought I might do a recover on this. And if you look, the covers, there's no liners. The covers are all you have. So, and they're held on with Torx screws. So I've been pondering, and what I think I'm going to do is I found some old pieces of what I believe are white oak. Certainly not the easiest wood to work with, but I've already split one in half. And then I grabbed it out of my vise here. I started working it down. So some nice grain in there. There's a nice knot there. Some nice grain up this way. So it's going to take some time. I'll work that down. But I think I'm going to try and make oak covers for it. I'll use the same pattern. I'll just trace those covers out. They pop off easy. Trace those out and probably see if I can make them a little bit thicker. If I do that, I'll have to inset the screws some, but I think I can make that work. So stay tuned. I'm going to plug away at that, and maybe we'll surprise you with this knife with some oak covers on it in the near future. All right, folks, we will leave it there. I hope you're having an awesome Saturday. The weather sucks here. It's raining. Not nearly as the level of suck that they're dealing with down south, around Georgia and Florida. That will eventually come up this way, but it'll just be heavy rain by the time it gets to us. So I hope everybody made it out in one piece. I know I'm hearing a couple stories of some loss of life down in Florida. So hopefully it's limited to what I've heard so far, and everybody just dealing with some damaged trees and some property damage, and nobody got seriously injured. But if the sun is shining where you are, get outside. Grab a friend, get out in the woods. If you go out by yourself, and I do that all the time, just let somebody know where you're going to be, just in case you have a mishap. But otherwise, man, it's peaceful and quiet in the woods. There's lots to listen to, though, but it's good stuff. So get out and spend some time in the woods. And take a knife with you. It'll come in handy. Y'all take care.